Hello, everyone. Welcome to Body Mapping Workshop number 2. Thanks, you all, for those of you who were able to submit your Flipgrid video from our first workshop. I really enjoyed watching everybody's video, and I appreciate that you all were open to the process and your thoughts and stories, and the details you included on your body maps were really interesting. I just want to encourage folks to continue to use the workbook as a reference as well as these videos, and to use the structure that I'm giving you as far as the sequencing of the activities and trusting the process. But also remember to hold it lightly. This is a creative activity. So if you feel like you want to do something, a little bit more, then that's up to you. I really appreciated just seeing how many of you all, how animals and pets were a big part of your early childhood, or just being out in nature, and just your reflections just around memory. For some of you were surprised how much you were able to remember, and then some of you weren't able to remember very much, or your memories were based off of what other people had told you about that particular time. So I encourage you to continue to use this as a reflective, introspective activity, as well as letting the themes and the readings that we've been working with in the class to kind of sit in the back of your mind in case there's some kind of connections that you're able to make between the material of the course and your own individual experience of doing this project. For workshop number 2, just going to start with an overview. So this should take you approximately 3 to 5 hours, depending upon how much detail and how much you get into the individual exercises. But you want to make sure that you've gathered your materials. For this workshop, you're going to need a mirror, a book, preferably a hardback book, a ruler, pencil, eraser, blank sheets of paper, so just printer size paper, the body outline, which is on the Moodle website. And that's under, if you go to the creative projects, and then underneath that, you'll see a label that says the body mapping workshop, and you'll see body outline. So you can print that out, or you can actually do the activity on your computer. So I'll show you what I did for mine. You'll also want your body map, of course, a journal, a notebook, something for you to write on and something to write with. And then, of course, your other art supplies, colored pencils, crayons, paint, markers, chalk, hairspray, if you're using chalk, or pastels. So once you've gathered your materials, the first exercise is going to be a portraiture. So you're going to be drawing your face. And then I'm going to have you reflect on your skin and skin marking. So you'll use your body outline paper to map out skin markings. And then we'll talk about skeletal and muscular systems, and we'll do a similar process of using your body outline to identify areas in your skeleton or muscle that have stories attached to them, possibly to different injuries or conditions. And then we'll do some journaling around your school years, so primary years, high school years. And I'll give you a list of questions as prompts to help you reflect back to that time in your life. And then you will do what you did with the early childhood memories, where you'll draw on a blank piece of paper a memory, or a symbol that represents a story from your school year time. And then you'll take those drawings, or that drawing, and translate it onto your body map. And you will be working counterclockwise. So your early childhood was on the left side, and then your school years drawings and reflections will be on the bottom of your body map. And just as a reminder, you can use drawings, you can also use words or stories or poetry it's really up to you of how you sort of capture that particular time in your life. And then once you've transferred your drawings and words onto your body map, you'll color them in, and you can reference the sheet that you made of the different colors and associations to kind of help you be intentional about the choices you're making as far as color. And then the last thing you'll do is what similar to what you did last class, where you'll upload a 2 to 3 minute Flipgrid video talking about your experience. So that's what the workshop for today will entail. Exercise 2.1 is a drawing exercise, a portraiture. So this should take you between 30 and 60 minutes. A portrait is a painting, photograph, or sculpture of a person in which a face and its expression is the main element, displaying likeness, personality, and mood of a person. So the first thing you're going to do is look in a mirror and study your face. Look at your eyes in relationship to your ears and your nose, and notice the proportion of your face above and below your eyes. Then you're going to take a blank piece of paper and quickly draw your portrait as reflected in the mirror. Unless you've studied drawing before, you may find that your sketch looks a little funny or comical, and that might be because your proportions are off. So do your quick sketch, and then after you do your sketch, you're going to go back and be a little bit more methodical about how you approach your portraiture. So you're going to go back to your mirror, and you're going to take your book and put your book on top of your head, and you're going to grab your ruler and you're going to measure from the book, the top of the book, to your chin. So I measured mine before, and mine is about 8 inches. So you're going to make note of that measurement, and then you're going to measure across your face from ear to ear, and mine was about 8.5 inches. So once you do those measurements and you make note of them, you're going to take your blank piece of paper and you're going to fold it in half vertically like that. And then you'll fold it in half again horizontally. So now your paper has 4 quadrants on it. And there's a reference that I'll share after this first bit that can kind of help you with the proportion. So once you have your 4 quadrants and you've measured your face, so you're going to mark on your paper how long your face is, how wide your face is. And then you can draw guide marks. So you're going to make an oval for the shape of your face. And then you can do guide marks so that this is your center line, is your midpoint. And then you can measure between the middle to the bottom of your chin and draw a line about halfway. And then between that middle line and your chin again, there's another halfway mark. So you can use those guidelines to help you draw your face. So the bottom of the eye sockets are usually about halfway up the head. So this middle mark here is where you're going to start the bottom of your eyes, just above that line. And then the tops of your ears are typically in line with the eyes. So if you look in the mirror, you'll notice if you drew a line across your eyes to your ears, that's one guide point for you. And steady your eyes just above the horizon line to mark the outer edge of your eyes near the ears and the inner part of your eyes near the bridge of your nose. And then draw your eyes getting the size and shape and proportions right. The bridge of our nose typically lines up with the top of our eyes, and the mouth is between the eyes and the chin in the lower quadrant. So each person's facial features are unique. Faces have smile, worry, and aging lines, marks, and scars, which should be added to your portrait. Study your reflection in the mirror and draw what you see until you're satisfied with your portrait as being a reasonable likeness of how you look. So after you've completed your portrait on your separate sheet of paper, you're then going to take your mock-up and draw it onto your body map using pencil. So continue to look in your reflection and transfer your portrait onto your body map. And here's the reference drawing that's in the workbook to kind of tell you how to figure out the proportions for your face. Exercise 2.3 is another drawing exercise related to skin markings, and this should take around 30 to 45 minutes. So, the skin, the outer covering of our body, is our largest organ. It is visible, whereas our other organs are invisible. Skin ranges in color depending on the amount of melanin produced by the skin. It is made up of 7 layers and guards the underlying muscles, bones, ligaments, and internal organs. Human skin is covered with hair follicles, but can appear hairless. Skin can be dry or oily. As skin ages, it becomes thinner and more easily damaged, and it sags and wrinkles. Damaged skin will try to heal by forming scar tissue, which is often discolored and depigmented. Human skin is seldom unscathed of marks and scarring. We may have birthmarks, moles, freckles, beauty spots, vaccine marks, stretch marks, or skin conditions such as acne, eczema, shingles, warts, or baldness. We have scars from injuries from superficial scrapes to deeper wounds inflicted by hard objects such as bullets or a surgeon's knife. All of these marks define who we are and our personal history. So, what you're going to do now is you're going to take your blank body outline and in pencil, you're going to mark on your body outline any skin markings that you have, and then write a brief explanation. One word is fine about the marking and scar, and then transfer your skin markings and explanations to your body map. So draw in pencil first and then go over with a marker, and then you can erase the pencil lines. And then you can use different colors to indicate the markings as realistically as possible. Here's an example of my body outline with my skin markings. Exercise 2.4 is a drawing exercise focused on the skeletal and muscular systems, so this should take you between 30 and 45 minutes. The skeletal system includes all the bones and joints in the body. The human skeleton is the internal framework for the body. Adults have 212 bones, including the bones in your ear. The main function of the skeleton is to provide protection to our internal organs, in particular the chest and the rib cage. Muscles attach to bones to provide movement. Our bone marrow produces red blood cells that carry oxygen around the body. We have 4 different types of movable joints. We have hinge joints for our elbows and our knees, ball and socket joints for our hips and shoulders, pivot joints for our neck to rotate from side to side, and gliding joints, which we have in our wrist and our ankles. The muscular system is responsible for the movement of the human body. Muscles are the only tissue in the body that has the ability to contract and therefore move the other parts of the body. Attached to our bones are about 700 named muscles, making up roughly half of our body weight. There are 3 different types of muscle: visceral, which is found in the stomach and intestines; cardiac, which is our heart muscle. It's unique separate kind of muscle tissue. And then our skeletal muscles, which is what allows us to move. So for this activity, you're going to draw any bones that you might have broken on your body outline. So make a mark of places in your body that you might have broken a bone, and then put just a few words to describe what happened. And then on your body map, you're going to go and draw the actual bone that was broken and color it in with white. Exercise 2.5 is write about school years. So you're going to journal for roughly 10 or 15 minutes and use the questions in the workbook, which I'll read for you aloud. So for primary or elementary school, what school did you attend? How did you get to and from school? Did your siblings attend the same schools? What were the names of your primary school teachers that you liked? What do you remember about them? Which subjects did you like and dislike? Which teachers did you like and dislike, and why? Who assisted you with your schoolwork or showed interest in your schooling? How did they show interest? Did you participate in any extracurricular activities? Talk about those or write about those. Who were your close primary school friends? What did you do together? Were your experiences of primary school happy and positive or not? High school years. What high school did you attend? How did you travel to and from school? Who paid for your schooling, books, and uniform? Do you remember the names of your high school teachers that had a positive or negative influence on your life? What do you remember about them? Which subjects did you do? Which did you like and dislike? Who assisted you with your school work and showed interest in your schooling? What extracurricular activities did you participate in high school? What clubs or groups did you belong to outside of school? Who were your close friends in high school, and what did you do together? Did you have romantic relationships in high school? What good and or bad things do you remember about these relationships? Did you attend religious instruction classes? For example, Sunday school or Hebrew school? Were your experiences at high school positive and happy or not? What were your dreams and aspirations for yourself in high school? What were your parents' or guardians' aspirations for you? Who were your role models? In what year did you finish or leave school? Did your schooling prepare you for life? What happened in this phase of your life if you didn't go to school? Exercise 2.6 is draw about your school years. So get a separate sheet of white paper and draw a picture that represents your school years. And you can include any words or stories on that page and be sure to add color to it. This is the last activity for today's workshop. 2.7 is to draw and write about your school years on your body map. And you're going to do this on the bottom of your body map. So to the left, you've got your early childhood, and then going counterclockwise on the bottom will be your school years. So draw images, symbols. You can include words to describe your school years. And that's it for today's body mapping number 2 workshop. The last thing you need to do is just go to Flipgrid and post a 2 to 3 minute reflection video. You can talk about your process. You can share a story that came up. You can talk about any discoveries or connections that you made, or see if there are any connections that you can make between discussions we've had in class or some of the reading material. So thanks Once again, I hope you enjoyed today's workshop, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.